Hi, mental wealth fam. What's up? What it do? Actually, I'm gonna take these off before I get into all of this, because they're going to be jingly, and then over the music and the jingles, you won't be able to hear me. So, hi guys. How are we doing today? I'm not doing that great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous, and today is the big day. I'm heading to Texas now. This is something that's been a long time coming, but sis, that don't mean I'm ready to do it. So I'm just trying to keep positive thoughts, positive headspace. Just think about all the positive things that can come from me, my mom rekindling and talking and things like that. And I do, and I know that, but it's just kind of dang, things are happening, and they're happening today. And well, not today, but I'm leaving today to go there, and I'm just really spent on it. I don't know what to do. All I can do is keep thinking positive. I'm a very, very, very emotional person, so I'm going to try not to be too emotional and really try to work through all of my emotions, because I'm actually kind of quick to responding than to you kind of know thinking things out. So I'm going to really try to focus on handling all that up this weekend. Here we go. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this and everything that I show, and anything about my story that I ever show on the channel, or any little aspect of my life, is a learning experience and an eye-opener to your mental health. And it is so important, guys. I don't know how to explain that anymore. I feel at this point, I gotta show you how important it is. This is what happens when you don't. You know what I'm saying? This story, me vlogging, me showing all you this is the potential that could literally happen to you if you don't take the time and notice when something's wrong and you take care of it as far as your mental health goes, okay? You can sit there and you can harp and you can just just keep letting it go on and things like that, but things are going to worsen over time. And if it seems like it's going to get better, you're not handling, sis, that's momentary. Honey, honey, it's going to get worse, okay? So you got to handle it, and it's nothing. I really do feel we're never given anything more than we can handle. So that's another reason why I'm staying positive about everything that I have going on, because obviously I'm built for it. News to me, because I'm over it. But yep, here we go. So next time you guys hear back from me, I will be at the airport getting some updates on things. To be really honest with you, much probably won't change. I'll probably still be feeling the same way, but we'll see. I've been having my other family members. Everyone's so super supportive of this. Everyone's contacting me, making sure I'm okay, telling me they love me, hoping things go great. So it's not that I don't have support. I just think that it's the situation at hand that makes me feel so nervous. And I know people are going to watch this and be like, oh, well, you don't seem super stoked. Honey, if it was that simple, baby, I'd be jumping off the walls. But it's just, everything has to do with a lot of my emotions. That's kind of why I'm I really don't want to leave to go to something else, and that I know I'm going to be super emotional for the whole time I'm there. So it's just kind of you dread it, because all these emotions are about to come out and stuff like that. But either way, even if I do sound super negative, I am being super positive about it. I'm just giving you my true honest feelings, because that's what's real. And alright guys, thank you for whoever is watching. You are my support. I don't even think no one knows how much support you need during things like this. A lot of things I've had to go through and had to experience on my own, and I've had to figure out a lot of things on my own. So with things like this that just seems beyond me, this situation seems it is bigger than me. This is something that I do need a lot of support from everybody. You support me, everybody. you know, support, because I promise you I need it. I promise you I need it. I do. So, all right, guys, I'll see you at the airport. About to take off soon. Ooh, lashes. Okay. I was supposed to record in the airport. I was late, so I didn't. Even though my flight was delayed. But step by step, right? We're almost there. Not really. 3 hours. Okay. I'm in Dallas now. I finally made it. The flight was cold. It was a crying baby. But I can't complain because I'm in coach, so I can't complain. But I just gotta go to the back package claim. I'm sorry if it's loud. Lovefield closed early, y'all. Like, they be shut down, they cleaning, they going home. Like, I don't think this airport does super late flights anyway. But, yep, now I'm gonna go get my baggage claim and wait for my cousin. Let's go. I'm done. We are Legacy Hall, y'all. It's basically like a food hall, and with different places to eat inside. Kiki got wings. She had a burger, and it would look good. I'm gonna go back and get me one. No, I'm going back to get me a little mini burger too. I want one. I'm not making fun of you. I want one. I got a chicken sandwich, and then I think I'm gonna go get a waffle dessert later. That's why I didn't want the chicken and waffles, because I really want strawberries, waffle, and chocolate sauce. Yeah, I have a problem. We'll be back with y'all once I get ready to eat. All right. Y'all, we're at a karaoke bar, and this is his shit. Bring it out! Bring it out! Hey, mental well fam. So to end up this vlog, I really just wanted to explain to you kind of how the trip went and the emotions and everything that I experienced and me and my mom's interactions. I kind of, in the video, I kind of gave like the fun part and all the good food places that Maryland's missing out on. Like, Maryland, if you need some, tell y'all, missing out on these good food places, okay? But I just wanted to talk a little bit more in depth what this whole reason was about. Of course, that wasn't gonna be like filmed because, you know, it's super personal, super emotional, a lot of stuff. So basically, as far as me and my mother's interaction went, it didn't really happen. We didn't interact too much because she's not accepting of me and things like that. Like I told you before, we haven't seen each other. And like, gosh, so what did I say, like 7 years? Like, yeah, like 7 good years. So, and so with her being this sick, her memory is not that great. And so it's just kind of like with her memory not being that great and being sick, it's just kind of like sucks because it's like she wasn't accepting of who I was, but she knows she has a daughter, but I wasn't allowed to be her daughter because of whatever reason. I can't call it because I don't know why I'm not who I am for whatever reason, but I wasn't allowed to be me. I try to explain to her a little bit that, you know, I'm Taylor, you know, this is your daughter and things like that. She was not having it, and so that's kind of where that was. I kind of expected it because she hasn't been accepted to me for a while. We haven't really been acceptive of each other over the course of time. But we also haven't talked because she's also mentally ill. Like, talking to her is not the easiest. We're not just talking to a woman who is just sick, but she's also very feisty, very a lot of attitude, and it's just kind of like every time when I used to visit her, she was very, very mean, very, I don't know, very judgmental, no approval on anything, And my life's in shambles. I feel like I'm jumping from school to school. I don't care about anything. Like, I can't keep a friend. I can't keep a social life. I can't do anything. Like, I don't get to do anything because I'm always moving and nothing's stable, and really forget all of that. I didn't even know, half the time, most of the time, I didn't know my next, like, especially when me and her were struggling, I didn't know where, like, the next meal was coming from. So, I just felt like my life was super super in shambles, and it's kind of like, for her to kind of not to be accepted of me a couple of years ago, that was very upsetting news. And I'd be like, you don't want to talk to me, but you kind of like screwed my life over, but you don't want to talk to me. But I had to also grow up and kind of understand that this thing and my mother's mental illness was a lot bigger than me, a lot bigger, and that it wasn't all about me either. And so after I was able to understand that, and they would understand the severity of her illness, I was able to understand that she's not all in control like she would like to be, if you get what I mean, So she like knows she has a daughter, but at the same time, I'm not her, because that's not what this is like. All this is not what she remembers. I also don't feel like she has just one person working the strings up there. I also do think she struggles with like multiple personalities, but I'm not the doctor. I don't get to make that call. But it's just kind of like, this is not who she remembers. And people growing up and things like that is kind of hard for her. She makes comments, every now and again to my aunt, who she stays with, that she, they're sisters, but she's just like, sometimes she makes comments and it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm missing out on everything. And I feel like those are moments of her, moments of like Sharita, like moments of her. But then with that's not you're not who you are, and denying me are like bits and pieces of other people. And the further that, it's kind of hard. I don't know, and sometimes she just speaks from a lot of different angles, says one thing, and you'll ask her about it, and she'll be like, I didn't say that, and things like that. So that's why I feel like she does. But, I'm not the doctor, so I can't make that call. But it is kind of, as far as my feelings go, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it is very hard. I was very emotional this, like 90% of this trip. And a lot of times I kind of like, I smoke a little bit or something, just to kind of like keep from not crying all night. Just because I figure I would give that real, just so, just so you can see that, like, that is real. Like, that's real life. And I just found a way to cope and go through, just to get through it to the next day, because it's like, I come all this way, I put all my feelings aside, I do all this, and you still don't accept me. So it's like, when will you ever will again? You know what I'm saying? Like, when will you ever again, like, accept me? But it's, it's not her fault, so I don't really blame her too much. I just want to help her. So yeah, that was me and her interactions. We didn't talk too much. I tried to tell her how, I'm me. I look just like her. Like, I look like, me and her, we like the same person as far as face goes. And so seeing her like that's hard. She sounds different. She looks different while still looking the same. Like, after seeing her, I know my voice is getting a little ugly because I'm getting teary-eyed. But yeah, seeing her was kind of like, damn, you really have been in limbo for years, sis, because you don't even sound the same. Like, your voice is so different. And to have come all that way, and to like have come all that way and then just not be accepted is hard. But at the same time, I do feel like it doesn't this whole part is like, it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. I do feel, regardless if you are believing religion, sometimes I do feel like I am being tested. And throughout my whole life, I struggle with giving up on things and just like letting it go. I'm giving 80,000 reasons on why I don't care about it anymore and what I can do something better or do something else. But this is one thing that I just need to stick to it and like keep going with, because I love my mom and I would love for us to have a healthy relationship. I do feel like sometimes I will have to mourn the relationship of mother and daughter, because if I feel like if I look from that viewpoint, I will always be mad and upset and in my feelings with her, because it's like, you know, you have this mother maternal role that I desperately need, and I want it from you, but I can't. So it's just kind of like I have to turn that switch off to gather a new relationship with her, because, you know, I do want one with her. And so yeah, this is really hard, and I didn't think, and I have waited to record this for the end of this vlog so long, so when I talked about it, I wouldn't be crying, but it's a very, very emotional situation. Also, just as emotional as getting her mental help, because when you get someone like mental help, it's kind of gotta be like on their terms, unless they are like causing like serious harm to themselves or someone else and things like that. Like they have to like kind of make this decision on their own to actually get put into like a mental facility. And we can't, and she's not gonna ever do that. If we wait on that, I think we would be waiting another 12 years. So now it's like my job to get her some, because I'm not letting it go, and I'm not gonna allow her mental health to deteriorate more than already it has. It's gone for real. So, you know, I'm like getting tongue tied, because like damn, and it's like the last thing I want is for her to get any worse. The fact that she can't keep up with her days, she gets her days mixed up, and she can't remember certain people, and the fact that, you know, that she's suffering to the point where I'm not me, you know, that's hard. You know, that's hard to see, because everybody else is like, girl, this is her. Like, you need to get your shit together. This is her. Like, this is Taylor. Like, you need to go ahead and accept it because it's happening. But I don't force it upon her, because I know that this is not her fault. And I know that she isn't just wishing that I wasn't me. You know, as far as like having to face your daughter you haven't seen in years and having to actually probably apologize and own up to your shit, basically, is not an easy job. You know, it's not easy. That's not easy at all. And so I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact on being on top of that she's like mentally ill, it's kind of like I can understand. So she gonna come around, you know, she gonna come around. So hopefully she does, and you know, we can take our relationship from there. But as far as her mental health goes, I'm not letting up on that. I'm gonna still be taking whatever steps I have to take. Right now, I'm trying to get her where she can kind of be on her own, because although she is mentally ill, she's still like able-bodied and able to move around, cook for herself, and do things like that. Like, she isn't a vegetable. So that's what we're kind of focusing on. I think she's starting to see that me and a lot of her other family members are very serious about her mental health and her getting some help. That we're not going to allow you to live the way that you have anymore, because it's not a lifestyle to live. If we thought that you were of sound mind and of sound health, and you were just in your own personal little space, then we would leave you there. You know what I'm saying? But we can't, and I think we've left her there as much as we supposed to. So this is us getting it together. Now, I was crying this whole trip. I cried on the airplane. I cried like the whole time, but I was able to actually gather my feelings up and record this so I can tell y'all how it went between me and her. It didn't go that great, but you know, that's life. Everything's not perfect, and this just shows me I have to keep trying. Yeah, I gotta keep trying, and I know that's kind of hard for me to hear, but yeah, definitely just have to keep trying and make progress with her. And getting some more mental help against her will is very hard. You have to take a lot of steps that I'm still learning about, because this is something that really should just be their choice. But when I think she's just too far gone for this to be her choice. She is, I feel like from what I've seen and witnessed, she's at the point where she does need to be placed in a mental facility, and that there is nothing a regular just going to a weekly meeting is going to do. This is, we're talking weekly meetings and medication, because we're talking like a chemical imbalance in her head. So that is also hard to see too. Now, those are things I do know now. Ew, was that an accent? Ew, I don't know where that came from. But things that I do know now are that, you know, I do know that she's way worse off than what I thought. I knew my mother was bad off, but not in the comparison of what she is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you know, but then you don't know at the same time. Because a lot of times of her living in where she lived before she lived with my aunt, she lived in my grandfather's house that had been there for many years, but now it's deteriorating because it's not, it's didn't have much upkeep to it after people moved out of it. It's just sad. So it's got all type of things happening up in it. It's rotting, it's doing all type of things. It's like, I think it's been collapsed now and taken down. But yeah, she was living in here when it was like in its worst state, and I knew she was living out of her mental illness, but I also would think it would be out of her being stubborn and knowing that if I was to go get some help, things are not going to go my way. I'm not going to be able to control things anymore, and things will be out of my hand. And I think that's too much anxiety for her. I think that's too much of her, like, I don't know what's going on with me. And on top of her, with her paranoia, because she's very, very paranoid, just not having it. So now I just gotta take those steps, force her hand, get her some mental help. Things are gonna be gravy. So thank you guys for watching this so much. Like, I need all the help I can get with this. This is a lot on my mental, and I am still in search of that therapist girl, because the last one told me she couldn't do anymore. It's fine. I'm gonna find a new one, sis. But thank you for watching. You do not know what it means to me. I've gone through this so long alone that I'm really over it. And not that my family members aren't there and they're not supportive and they haven't gone through it either, because they have, because they're still her family. But a lot of things I still had to go through alone. So being able to share this experience really does take a lot of the edge off of it. So thank you guys, and I will tune in with you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this. Tell me what you, any words of encouragement, any advice, anything like that. Just